I'm pretty sure this thing should be live by now. I pressed go live and it took forever. Is it even showing I'm live? Like, bro, listen, YouTube, the dashboard thing is confusing. We have time. We have like a minute before I have to press enter. So anyone submitting right now, it hasn't started yet. Don't submit. Okay, now it's started. There we go. Ooh, I gotta jump to the present. Listen, someone was asking too, what does taupe mean, right? Because you know the thumbnail, it says taupe beat. I had an interesting thumbnail maker a long time ago that I worked with, and let me just say, he didn't know how to spell the word top. So that's what happened there. Okay, I'm not late. I'm on time. You're late. Now I'm gonna go over the rules because they're a little different now, and I just want to be clear. This is the second beat review of the year. Damn, I'm spitting bars that kind of rhymed. If you are a member, the member rules. If you're a member, you can submit at any time. You have maximum 3 submissions. That's pretty much it. Other than that, the rules are the same for you. In the non-members beat review, you can submit once only, no copyright samples. There is no beat battle. We're doing a separate beat battle later this month, so stay tuned for that. You hope I have some long videos coming. I might. Who knows? I might not. That's it. We got to jump over to the members because, like I said, damn. I didn't even give any beats. All right, let's just get into this. Why don't you just draw red color over the E? Honestly, I don't even have the file for it. I should probably just make like a new thumbnail at that point. It doesn't even fit in with branding. Also, the spacing would kind of look weird. All right, Keta, let's hear this.
Wait, hold on, this Keta?
I'm gonna be real, the drums are like kind of weirdly wide. I'm not sure why. The 808, it was just kind of there. It wasn't really doing too much, and at times it felt a little dirty, I guess. So the mix is really kind of gross in that regard. I felt like the clap too early on kind of felt a little corny, but that's kind of just my takeaways. Like, there's not too much else about it that I dislike. Like, I think the melody was kind of weird, but it worked eventually, so I'm cool with that. Yo, what's good, Cholu? I don't even know if that's how you say it. We got Lazy Beats up next.
The lazy guy?
Lazy?
Okay, so I think there's some good stuff here. I think the intro was gorgeous. I feel like I would have personally dropped it a little differently, but I think the way you did it was okay and kind of cool. It turned out good. What I have a problem with here is your 808 is really like muddy. Yeah, moving from that to opium kind of goes crazy. But your 808 is muddy. Your low end is like really dirty, so it's kind of not in a good way. You know, it's a little messy at this point once it's dropped. I think everything other than that is pretty good, you know? So yeah, that was clean. Honestly, I really like that. The intro was probably my favorite part though, to be frank. Last time I told you to make your drums harder, you tried to. I'm gonna be honest, I could have kind of set you up for failure because some people may take that and just do the wrong thing. I'm not gonna lie, this is clean. The mix is really good. Like I was expecting a worse mix, but you had a good mix. The drums do hit a little bit. I feel like they could hit a tiny bit more, but like that's completely irrelevant here. It's good. It's really good. I'm not the biggest fan of the genre that you pursued, so like I don't listen to it, so I can't really give you the most genre specific feedback. But I think like the repetition after a little bit kind of got annoying for me, but that's my thing. I don't know if the genre is like super. It is pretty repetitious, I think. You're not here to judge. Yeah, it feels corny to listen. I never got into it personally. Why does bro got an iCarly thumbnail? Is this like looked at as nostalgic now? Like iCarly is like nostalgia core? That's okay. If you don't know who iCarly is, you might just be too young. You're making me feel old. Like collectively, I now feel old because of this. To be honest with you, I think it's good. Mihai, I'm gonna be real with you. Again, don't get me wrong. You know how I feel about these type of beats. They're not my favorite. I think the overall mix could be louder. It might just be YouTube kind of bringing you down. The YouTube volume shit is kind of tricky to get mastered. You know. I think it's good. The 808's good. The mix is pretty clean. The melody's okay. For me, what I don't really love about the genre, I'm doing way too much hand shit. The reason I don't really like the genre though is more so like it's just so like airy sounding. It's cloud sounding, and that's just me. You know what I mean? Wi-Fi stop lagging. Yeah, I feel that. All right, where were we? We got Alex up next. cool. You have some cool stuff going on. The mix is kind of where it's really falling apart though. Like everything's just way too quiet. The bass you have is like almost not even there, but when it is there, it just sounds kind of something's off with it. And some of your like drum sounds I feel like could be mixed together a bit better. But like the idea is really cool. The simplicity to it is really cool. It's like minimalist in a way, while the drums are pretty bouncy. I would maybe change up some of the patterns too with the drums. Like there's just like one hit that I'm not crazy about early on in your pattern. I don't recall which thing it is, but I think it's pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty cool beat. I like it. Got Seba 346. You got a chorus in here. All right, Seba, I'm gonna be real honest, real blunt off the rip. You're doing something here that I think is like not a sin, but it's kind of a big beginner mistake. I'm opening up flstudio to kind of show you what I'm talking about. You have this pattern and you're just like going on beat, right? I talk about this all the time. You just keep going on beat. It's just like so expected and like you hear it and you're just like, okay, this is gonna go, there's gonna be another note on beat. Like it's just not interesting, you know? So you gotta move things, get some things going off rhythm, you know what I mean? Like give it a bounce, give it something unique, interesting to it. I don't know if this will sound good, but you know what? You know, rhythm is just as important as melody. Bro, I'm not gonna skip your beat. This is a feedback. I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna give you constructive criticism. I kind of like what you're doing with that lead. I feel like it's cool. The sound to it is okay. I might not be the biggest fan of it. I think your snare is okay. I don't know if I would have taken the drums in the same direction. I think that's fine. I think with your drums though, the hi-hat pattern is a little plain. Like it feels a little too basic. You can kind of get a little more creative with it rhythmically, I think. But that's kind of my big takeaways from this. Yeah, the melody's pretty cool. It's nice. Yeah, Mihai, send a full song of yours. That's cool with me. Submitting for the vibes.
Eternal got them locks.
This is cool. I really like what you did with the oh my god, my brain's blanking, with the violin. It's one of those days. It's clean. The drums are hitting too. We got Jambe. Jambe is at work. Let's go. Don't expose Jambe. Nobody needs to know about this. it feels really busy, like a little too busy for me. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the hi-hats just feel too busy for me. Everything else is pretty good. The melody's clean. I like the 808 it's hitting, but it could be hitting a little bit more, I feel. I want to view your YouTube channel. Like, I know we talked about this. Talked about doing like channel feedback. It looks like your channel is doing pretty solid. I'm gonna give this a like. 243 views in 2 days. That's pretty good. You got a good description going on here. I'm very curious to see. You got a vibe going. Listen, this is a so far a pretty good example of what your type beat channel should look like. Like, John Bay has nailed the branding here. It's not like the most clear branding by any means, but it doesn't need to be. Like, this is very clear that he's going for this black and white kind of color palette here. It's clear. I think the biggest thing though with your channel, like your titles are ridiculously long. Like, this is a really long title, and there's a lot of unnecessary information in here. Like, I don't need to know the name of your type beat. That doesn't really matter to an artist at all. You can leave that in the description. You've got like a bajillion freestyle beat, hard trap type beat. You know what I mean? Like, which is it? Is it a freestyle type beat? Is it a hard trap type beat? What is it? Is it a 21 Savage type beat? I don't know. Pick something. It can be one thing, two things, three things max. Like, I know you did that in 3, like 21 Savage, freestyle beat, etc. You gotta shorten that. You gotta find a way to shorten that. Like 21 Savage X Drake type beat. You know what I mean? Shorter title. Because you do that kind of across the board for the most part. This is not a bad example. Central C X emotional guitar type beat. I think that's good. That's probably the biggest feedback I have for your channel. Just the titles kind of suck. What else we got here? Also, like, if y'all, can I super chat through my way to? No, you can't. You cannot do that. You have to join a membership thing. Member up. Yeah, we got Shachar. I don't know. I really don't like that dissonance there with, like, I don't know, the 808 just, I don't know, that chord, it feels too dissonant with the 808. I also kind of feel like your clap's a little too loud. Like, it's very subtle. It's like half a decibel. You know what I mean? You got to turn that down a tiny bit. The melody's okay. Like, I feel like your chords are cool. I like what you did effect wise to kind of make it sound a little more dark and spooky. It's cool. I think it was a violin you had in there that was nice vibes. Trippy Sneak. I sometimes y'all's names kind of confuse me. Like, what is Trippy Sneak supposed to mean, bro?
I've been asked to testify about Louis Strauss, a man who has given years of service in high positions of government and who is known to be earnest, hardworking, and intelligent.
The senator from Wyoming.
Admiral Strauss, I'm interested in your relationship with Dr. J. Robert Oppenheimer. You met him in 1947?
Correct.
I think you have a really good thing here. Like I think your melody's good. It's exactly what you're trying to do. I think what you could really benefit from though is kind of side chaining like your drums, the ones that you want to be a little bit more impactful, like the kick and probably the snare too, to everything, like to the melody, maybe even to some of your other drums, and side chaining it just to kind of add that impact so everything ducks out of the way when those hit and they can kind of be the main focus at that point. That's probably what I think would kind of take this up a notch. Peter Cannon. I don't even know who this is. When did you change your name? Okay, well, I'd say get aggressive with the sidechain. Honestly, if it sounds good, it is good. Get aggressive.
It's chaos.
You know what's problematic about this? It's clear that you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you're doing here for sure. And there's good things in here. It's just like you intentionally made it painful at first, you know? I'm not too sure why necessarily you wanted to do that, but I think it almost worked out in your favor. You could maybe do some more stuff to it to make it kind of, I don't know, work that way, like make it an intro in some way. I don't know. The volume was not terrible. It was mastered. That's what I'd say. It was loud. Gotta jump all the way back up here. God damn. We got classics beats. Chill, ethereal, ASAP Rocky type beat. Yo, I got a parrot on my shoulder right here. Okay, that actually kind of made me laugh. Time for school type beat. The 808, I just don't think is it. I don't think whatever note you're playing or whatever just doesn't really kind of work in this regard. Melody gets a little too repetitive. Like, it just doesn't feel like anything is kind of going on with that. But I do think you kind of had this ethereal vibe in some way, shape, or form. Left a lot of room in this one. Bro wants me to start spitting on it. I don't know if it's just the sound you used or if it's because you did some wonky ass EQ shit, but like it feels like some of your sounds are a little too EQ'd. Yo, welcome to the membership program, as we like to call it here, the nobility class. It feels like you just kind of cut all the lows out, like more than you should have. I think other than that, it's pretty good. You have some good stuff going on there. It's just, I don't know why you cut all those lows. To get the Discord thing, yeah, you just got to link your YouTube to your Discord. If it doesn't work, let me know and I'll resolve the issue. Just link the two and you're good. Intro a little long. All right. Here's what I feel like is my dilemma with this. This kind of just feels like you took a compilation of every single popular trap perk sound and you put it in one beat. And like they don't necessarily all fit. Like it doesn't really feel like you thought about what would fit best. You kind of just thought, yeah, this shit's popular, let me put it in. The melody kind of matches that vibe in that it's like a little generic as well. It's good, that's the thing. Like everything's good, the mix is fine. It's just a little on the plain side in sound selection and in what you composed, I guess. If we want to be like technical, I gotta pin this because we're gonna come back here because we got some members. I saw it worked for you. I checked. I think. I'm not sure if it 100% did, Don, but I'm pretty sure it did. We got Mihai once again with Blue Rose. This is the song. This is the most you've spent on a single project. It's no rush to listen to it though. Well, let's give it a listen. Yeah, I listen to music too. If you have music, just make sure it's not copyrighted because it helps me out. I think it's good. I really thought the piano was beautiful, to be honest with you. I didn't love kind of where it went necessarily, but I think maybe that's just, again, preference difference between you and I. You have that one perk in there that's kind of loud, and I feel like it could be turned down because it's a little too loud in my opinion. But other than that, I think it's good. The energy picks up. It's nice. Kind of what you did with the drums speeding up was cool. I liked it. This is, to be honest, Mihai, it's probably the one that you've submitted that I like the most. It's really, really well thought out. CEO gone. That's one word. I struggled with that.
Yeah, you gotta stop talking about my name.
That's how lyrical the way I rap is criminal. Hey, yo, Jay, I love my ass up all around in a cubicle.
listen, we're 8 seconds in, and I have to tell you, the mixing is terrible. I didn't even realize you asked. Please let me know how the mixing is. The mixing is not good. And it's not even a thing of like, oh, you just auto-tune too much. Like, it's shit's too loud, right? There's too much volume going on in the beat. Doesn't leave much room in the mix or in your frequencies, in your space for your vocals, and the vocals are pretty loud too. So the two are just kind of like fighting for room, and it's, how can we fix it? Here's how. You can sidechain. I'm gonna give you a little example. Actually, you know what? I worked with someone's vocals relatively recently, just for shits and giggles. I don't know why I was thinking about that for so long. My flstudio takes forever to open. My Antara's auto-tune is bugged out. I don't know what's going on, but like, my shit's breaking, bro. You like jerk beats? We'll get back to reviewing yours, by the way. I just want to show you what I'm talking about. And this is like a little trick or technique. Shut up, auto-tune. Antara is, bro. So what I have going on, this is a messy project. Where's the melody? Not the melody, the vocals. What I have going on in the vocals, I think, yeah. I'm sidechaining the vocals. Is this the beat? Yeah. This is, I think. I'm not sure. Either way, what I've done is I sidechained the vocals to the beat. There's a very light sidechain. This is not it. There's a very light sidechain going on. And basically, I'm trying to like figure out where I put it. But either way, there's a very light sidechain going on. If I can show you, I think this might be it. Either way, let me just try. And basically, like, it's really like, it's not that great of a mix, mind you, but just to make that room for the vocals, because the vocals are pretty big in this example. They're pretty loud as well, like they're distorted a bunch. It brings down the sound of everything else, so it's forcibly making room for everything else. So that's kind of what you should try. Like, be light with it though, be gentle.
She's your dumbass. Holes in your pockets, bitch. Yeah, you know you're broke ass. Wasting all that money he ain't got, bitch. You broke ass. Rock like tight, yeah, heavy got a kickback. Get ass, do rolls, y'all and give me 10. Pulling on my lunch shot, bitch, for your dumbass. Got your dumbass all up in my bag. Ain't no.
Yeah, I'm noticing that too. It sounds like your vocal has a lot of air. What you kind of want to do, I'm not sure if this is necessarily why, but what you want to do is, let's say like this is your vocal right down here. Right, let's make this full screen. Let's not be a loser. Right, let's say this is your vocal here. Right, you want to route it to another channel. Put whatever reverb you have it mix all the way. That means you're just going to get just the vocal with the reverb. So this channel will be nothing but your reverb, and that lets you control it a lot more and not get as much mess in your reverb. So you can kind of reduce that airiness, but have a cleaner sound overall.
Bitch, yeah, I just be myself, bitch. I'm all in your head. Bitch, follow me, cause you know I got rats. I got rats, bitch, yeah, I got hella rats. 3, 2, 1, 3, 4, double low. That's that 3400 shit. Bitch, you know I'm sliding it. Slide ass though, bitch, you might gon' liking me. Stars on the roof, this I know fucking culling it.
I would also say, like, as like the rapping goes, you could probably and definitely switch up kind of the rhythm. Your flow is staying pretty consistent for the majority of this, so I feel like you could definitely mix up the rhythm and get that going a little bit better. But I think there is potential here. I think your vocal mix is not the worst by any means, so I think you could just keep tweaking your sound and cleaning up your mix, and you'll get better music for sure. Basic ass trap beat to cleanse my palate. Let's find out. I think that kick switch up is really cool. I like that idea. Your 808's fine. It's good. It's a solid, like it's exactly what you're saying. It's a basic trap beat, but it does the basic trap beat well. You know? I feel like you would know what my feedback is. It's basic, but that's what you said it's supposed to be. So we got Justin 141 MTG. Whoa. This is a vibe. I feel though like one thing that would kind of make it a bit more of a vibe is on your snare. You can kind of tweak with the shift, so you can turn this up, and basically what this does is it goes in and tweaks when it's hitting. It's gonna offset it a little bit, so it's not gonna always hit on exact beat, but it'll hit like milliseconds off. So it gives it more of like a human groove, and that natural groove can kind of make your bounce feel a little cooler. So I think that would have been nice on your snare, but other than that, this is definitely a vibe, and it's really cool what you've done. Yeah, I just think it would have been nice on the snare too, because the snare bounce was nice, just it felt a little robotic to me. What you did, ooh, that sentence wouldn't make sense. What you've done with the vocal makes a lot of sense. It's really cool. I like it. It fits the vibe so well. It's very ambient in a cool way. Eternal, sir, we're gonna have a separate beat battle, not beat review. We're gonna have a separate beat battle later this month, so there's no beat battle portion today. Your transition there kind of felt a little wonky. I feel like you could have shored that up with like cutting off some of the melody stuff, some of the drum stuff, and then have like an actual just transition sound go in. Yeah, I agree. Some of your drums do sound a little sharp, so they don't fit the vibe as much, but I feel like you could either just pick better drum sounds for that or just EQ them as others are saying. But I don't know. I'm in the camp of pick better drum sounds, you know? Yeah, Eternal, you can definitely participate. Also, I'm gonna be so honest with you, I hate these types of beats. I don't know if it's just me, but it felt like things were randomly getting quieter at one point. It's good. You accomplish the vibe you're trying to go for. I'm just not a big fan of these kinds of beats. Don't ask. Bro forwarded Mr. Miyagi.mp3.
Never put passion before principle. Even if win, you lose.
It sounds like your low end of your melody is kind of taking up some of that 808 space. Doozy, I love to hear that. I love hearing about whenever someone beats Mars. I'm gonna be honest too, this beat is missing direction. Like it's not going anywhere. You have some cool stuff, but it's just like it's consistent throughout. You know, I think it would be good to focus a little bit more of your efforts on arranging it. Joe's Nolting. Nem's Hood Trap Jersey Tight beat, okay. I like the vocal, I like the melody, what you have there. I think what I don't like necessarily is a bit more of the drum sounds, like the snare sound in particular. I'm not too crazy about, but I think other than that, it's okay. It's pretty solid. Yeah, it is. It's well put together. No copyright on this. I forget. I asked you how to pronounce it last time, but I don't remember.
Just go with it. Hit it, boys!
Listen, this could go viral on TikTok in a very low-key way. I feel like some of your 808 rolls could have been cooler if you pitched them up and maybe just played around with like the velocity or even panning of them. I felt too as though it got a little busy at some parts with the sample, but I like the idea. It's interesting. It's a concept, that's for sure. Yeah, it's a concept. It's not a plan, it's just a concept of a plan. We got Shaney Beats. Shaney Beats. I don't really feel like the hi-hats fit what you're doing with the melody. Yes, I am. Music feedback of all varieties. Yeah, I'm just not too crazy about it. It feels a little too happy, like a little corny happy. The hi-hat pattern, I don't know. I didn't really like the idea behind it. I felt like the 808s were hitting though. It was good. What's my album of the year so far? I don't know. It's month 2, my guy. We haven't even gotten deep into month 2. It's the start of the The 8th day, my dude. Bro, why'd you say Lil Baby is threatening to drop music this month? It's his job. What do you mean? What do you mean he's threatening? He's like, that's not a good thing. He's threatening to do it. All right, Laverdue, I think you cooked. You have some weird stuff, some very weird stuff, but I like it. I like what you did with it. The rhythm's kind of funky. It's cool. Laverdue, you're not getting pinned because that's not a thing anymore. But we're coming back there. Peter Cannon, you promised this is the last one. That's correct. This is the last one. This is your third one. You're capped at 3. You got a lot of high end that kind of hurts my ears. It kind of hurts my ears. You had a really cool build there. It got a little resonant at one point, and I wasn't too crazy about it, but the drop was just a little too harsh, and then it remained harsh every time the drums hit. So I feel like you could clean that up. Potential, yeah, definitely potential, but with that exported version you shared with me, it's wasted potential. We got Migraine. Yeah, I'm not too crazy about the mix on this. I think to the piano, I wasn't too fond of like the sound you used and the pattern for it. I just didn't love. I felt too like the rhythms at times kind of clashed because you had like so many different things going on. Like the way I feel like you should think about it is instead of having so many different things going on that are just not working together, have a bunch of things doing like a little part to make up a big thing. Doozy, hey. Damn, my cat's on the counter. Doozy, you cooked. It hits. The mix is good. The bounce is nice. The funkiness is there. The sounds are good. You cooked. It's clean. It's that Doozy special. He hit us with it. Goddamn. We got Moderate Productions. Ice Cave 160 beats per minute. If I have to be critical, I don't really like that sound that's doing your main melody there. Do like some of the drum sounds you're doing, like the kick is really impactful. I like that. It's just that melody. I don't like the sound to it, and I feel like it's repeated for like a minute straight now, and it's a little too much. Mix it up a bit, maybe. Jukao. Oh, we got a member. We gotta come back here. I'm terribly sorry, Jukao. We got somebody else to listen to instead, and it's Mihai. Free appreciating the joy of life type beat. You know what? I'm here for it. Yeah, I just feel like happy beats are like not it, and Mihai, this is not it personally. It's goofy, but you know what? Power to you, Mihai. It's you got skills, you got talent, and you're putting it to an interesting use. That's one way to think about it. That's for sure. We got Jukao again. How many beats can you send? 3, right? If you are a member, you can send 3. Yes, that is correct. I like your chord progression. I don't really like this short 808. Like, I feel like the 808 just doesn't really fit the vibe you have. It's also a little too repetitive. Like, you don't have anything coming in, anything being switched up, nothing. It's just the same thing so far for a pretty lengthy amount of time. Maybe just mix up the arrangement a bit. Use a different 808. That's kind of how I would approach that. Hype beats. Whoa. Let's not break our eardrums. Honestly, aside from your mix just being awful, it's good. Why is my name on this beat? What did I do? I don't know if I did anything. Also, your violin thing has like way too much highs. Pretty much your mix is just terrible. Your mix is just so god awful, but everything else is really good. The patterns are nice, the things are hitting, but way too much. It has potential. You just gotta fix the mix. We got Finlay. It's good, the drums are good, the bounce is good, everything's working together nicely. Here's the problem though, sir. It is generic as all hell. And that's not bad. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a time and place for generic beats, but sometimes you gotta get creative, sometimes you wanna get creative. And if I have to give you some feedback, it's that this beat is not creative. It's just good. Everything about it is sound. Now take those skills you learned to make this very unoriginal beat and make something original. That's what you do next. We got 01 Trey. Yeah, I think you did a lot of the things that you should have done to accomplish what you were trying to do. That's fine. I just don't think your 808's really hitting hard enough, but I feel like it's okay. Overall, it's a fine beat. I don't really have too many issues with it. It's just not for me necessarily, but it could be hitting a little harder. T-New. Depending what this is for, it could be really good, but like if I had to listen to this and say, hey, I'm a rapper, I'm looking for a beat to rap on, this would never cross my mind as something I would even consider. Your patterns for your melody are sounding a little robotic. I feel like you could kind of give the bass a little bit more volume to work with, but other than that, I think it's okay. The drums have that kind of robotic issue too. You just got to make it sound like a little more humanistic, a little more groovy in that regard. You got space packing, damn.
Draw that shit face.
I feel like you're spamming the drums too much, mainly like the kick 808 there. You just gave it a bunch of room, right? Like that. I want you to give it more room more often. Other than that, your beat's good. Everything about it is pretty solid. The mix is okay. Like your snares maybe a little too loud, but I think the melody really shined through. We got Toast up next with bustdown.mp3. That's what I wanted to see on Saturday morning. Your mix is kind of painful. There's things that are just kind of clipping too much, and then you have this high end that's just almost unbearable to enjoy. Other than that, like I understand the direction you're trying to go in, and I think it's solid. It's just the mix is just painful. It's detracting so bad from the good that you've done. Ooh, okay, I know this is gonna be good because you won when we did the last beat battle, so yeah, tempo, you did it again. There's no dilemmas with this. The mix is good. The beat is hard. The bounce is nice. You did what you did last time, which was like those 2000s type beat. You're good at those. You're good at those. If I had to give you feedback of some constructive variety, I would tell you, hey, maybe try like, I don't know, do something you're not comfortable with. Step as far outside of your comfort zone as possible, and then try and master that. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Why not? I really like that vocal that comes in there. I think it's hard. It's most definitely hard. Old beat, but why not? I feel like the open hat is either too short or just too loud, maybe a bit of both. It's hitting hard though. Yeah, I appreciate that. Nightmare on Tuesday. That's an interesting name. Is there a backstory to it? It's good. Doozy, I feel like we're at a point where it's very clear that you have reached out, you've touched a bunch of different genres, you have gotten good at different kinds of things. You don't just make the same beat over and over again. You are good at this. You are good at this producing thing. And I think maybe it's a point in time where you need to think, what do I want to do, or what do I want to do, but what do you want to do with production? You know what I mean? And then maybe formulate a plan and seriously pursue that in a meaningful way. I'm using a lot of big words. It makes you sound smart. It's a fact. But kind of what I'm trying to get at, Doozy, is whenever I give you feedback, it's always gonna be there's gonna be almost no constructive criticism. I'm gonna tell you it's good because it's good. Maybe there'll be one thing I dislike, but most of the time, man, it's really good. You're scared of the big world? Listen, there's a very big world of music, and in this age of social media, if you just have the right information and knowledge, you can accomplish a fair bit of things. You can at least get started in what you want to do. You know, I was my girlfriend, for example. Excuse me. My girlfriend, for example, she's super into aquariums and aquascaping and stuff. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a bunch of aquariums behind me. Those are her aquariums. I got her started into like creating content and such. And if you couldn't tell, I have some experience with creating content, so I shared what I knew. And like she has gotten to a point where she is getting sent like free stuff. Brands are working with her, collaborations, and you know, like, I'm not saying that's the direction you go or anything, but like I'm saying, like, you have the capability to leverage the technology available to you to get where you want. Your mix is just like really painful. Everything's a little too loud. There's some things that are too sharp. Get a little more like hands-on with your EQ. You don't need to like carve things out. Like when I say get hands-on with your EQ, I don't mean you need to be like, oh yes, here's my crazy ass dog shit EQ. No, don't do that. Don't do that at all. Be gentle with it. You know, like, oh man, I need to get rid of some mids because there's a little bit of mud in my beat. Whoa, you know what I mean? Just be gentle. EQ is not some tool to slice and dice every single thing, you know? We're gonna have to come back here. And I'm gonna be honest too, I'm also not listening to the rest of this because the mix hurts me. It hurts my ears. It's good, but it's just the mix, man. You had to match Doozy. Let's give it a listen. Eternal, you're probably in like a similar boat to Doozy, to be honest with you. I know like you've worked with some people similar to Doozy and such. But you do make a lot of these really hard beats. Damn, my throat be dry. We gotta listen to Sillamin. This is a good beat too. Listen, I enjoy giving constructive criticism. I like to be harsh sometimes, but you make it hard to do that.
Thomas.
Hey, Teresa.
You shouldn't be here.
I hate to see you.
I think overall your melody's a little loud. I feel like the hi-hat pattern's just kind of there. Your bass is fighting for some of that low end as well with the melody, because your melody has so much low end. And there's no like punch really going on with your bass or 808. I don't even know. It kind of just sounds more like a bass than an 808 because you don't have any punch to it. I'm not saying you need punch, but like you could throw a kick in there if you want. Yeah, Doozy was just calling me a hoe, no big deal. Like the Santa Claus type shit. Yeah, we got Miko 535, 8 E minor. You need some bang.
Miko, you know what's up.
Doozy, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I haven't thought about it. You want to see my collection? Actually, I can't show you. Well, I can. It's right here. All my cards. This is like a little binder. I have more, but they're not in here. Because these are just the nicer ones, I guess. I feel like your beat's good. It's a bit on the generic side. Everything's good about it. Use some solid sounds. I feel like you could get a little more creative with your rhythm. Like with accent, snare kind of pattern stuff shit going on. You know what I mean? Perks, etc. But there is a bounce there, and I feel like you could just kind of flesh it out a little bit more. What? Is it scientifically proven that Miko knows what's up? No. There's no studies on that. That was so underwhelming. Your melody's a little quiet, and that transition was kind of loud. Your drop is missing some low end. Your whole mix is pretty quiet. Honestly, you should probably turn the whole thing up. Throw an 808 in there or a bass, just something to fill up that low end because it's really empty and missing. And your drop will hit a lot harder if you do that. 85 Mateo.
Mateo, this beat is crazy.
Mateo, is this beat crazy or is it just you lying to me again? gonna have to be honest with you, Mateo. I don't personally feel like this is in the crazy category by any stretch, not even close. But I do feel like you have some vibes going on here for sure. I feel like the drums feel a little robotic, but I do like the vocal sample you have in there. I hope you made the melody because the melody is kind of clean overall. Decent stuff. It's pretty good. There's some really gross dissonance you're doing here. So your melody is quiet compared to your drums. Your drum patterns are a little on the basic side. Like there's nothing too interesting going on with them. And then that piano you had in the beginning, like there was some disgusting dissonance. Like you can play notes out of key. You can do a lot of crazy stuff. Whatever you did there just didn't sound right. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't really have too much to say about it. I feel like some of the stuff you have in the melody there are not my favorite, but they're just like more like the accenting portions to the melody than the actual melody, you know? So it's not too big of a deal, but like you could kind of clean that up. Bro, we're gonna come back to that. Doozy, I'm gonna be honest, this beat's not bad. Like there's this weird thing with music where something can be objectively good, but just subjectively it feels as though you were uninspired making this. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like there's anything really in this that you're invested in. You know what I mean? It's good. Objectively it's good. The mix is good, things are fine, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just subjectively not the most interesting thing. You know what I mean? That makes sense, right? We were listening to one and it was like kind of terrible off the rip. Mind you, I only listened to 2 seconds, so I hope you save me after those seconds.
Answer my question.
I have to ask you, why did you do that? Like, why did you do that? Where it's like just you wanted all the dissonance possible. It's not good.
Answer my question.
And it's only for 2 seconds. Like once that dissonance gone, everything's fine. This is what happens when you use a limiter instead of a soft clipper. Yeah, your 808 is just not good. The limiter is an op of mine too. I don't really use limiters often. Their purpose is not too necessary for a lot of the stuff I do. And this is a great example of why, because this is not what I would want my 808 to be doing. You should probably soft clip it instead of limit it. It would sound a little bit better. You would saturate it. It would be nice. Yo, Riley, I have been. We're missing a word. You have been trying to improve your mix. Okay. Mind you, I'm like not a mix engineer, so like a mixing advice is you know? So I know you were asking for mixing advice, but this is like a medieval tavern type beat. Throwback to like 1322. It's like a Friday night. You finish just slopping the fucking horse manure, right? You're done work for the week. You're heading out with the boys to the local tavern. Yeah, that's the vibe right here. What I can tell you about your mix is your low end's kind of messy. Like you have this 808 trying to live in the low end, and then some of your melodies also kind of living in the low end, so it's clashing there a bit. That's also why your higher 808 notes are sounding a little bit cleaner, because they're not too busy down in that low end compared to your lower 808 notes. I think mix-wise, this isn't even mix related. This is just like your guitar. Whatever sound you use is kind of corny. I feel like you could have sampled it and just like pitched it down, and it might have sounded better. But it's very like medieval lute type vibes. Your 808's hitting though. I'll give you that. 21 Savage type beat, number 4. This is your 4th attempt.
This is Silver.
I like that sound you're using, the brass. I think that's a good brass sound to be using. What I have to say is I'm not too crazy about everything else. Like it's just plain. It's like we went to the grocery store and we were trying to get some delicious vanilla Greek yogurt, but no, you grab the plain Greek yogurt and now we're stuck with that sour cream tasting ass shit, and that's what we have. Nobody wants to put their granola in it. But it's technically fine because it is still yogurt. That's exactly the analogy we're going to use to describe this beat. I've heard enough. I've listened to 2 minutes. Honestly, it's good. You have a cool balance going on. Some things are a little quiet, but like it's not too big of a deal. It's a solid mix. Everything here is good. The bounce is nice. Sound selection is probably the best thing that you did here. I think you chose some nice sounds. The switch was cool too, yeah. Listen to at least 1 minute. This sounds like a demand. I'm not gonna lie. A please could have worked. I'm Canadian, man. I'm pretty familiar with the word please. I'm just saying. Okay. Whoa. So it's like you got like a fart 808 going on, and then you got like a little melody playing right after. It's kind of interesting, but like you had like a weird, you went to a weird note, and it sounded a little dissonant after the first one. What in the Christmas type beat is this? What is this? I listened to a minute as you had requested. What is this? There's like so many like peculiar decisions made here that just make me wonder like what's going on. It's not like there's like a terrible mix problem or like you just made like a dog shit melody or anything like that. Like it's just like weird, but not in a way that I enjoy. Can we play the next one? Yes, we can.
One evening,
Bro heard Assassin's Creed Shadows was coming out and he got a little too hyped. That's a good one. Hollywood whenever you're anywhere in Asia. Yeah, it's good. It's just the sample's a little wonky. I feel like the sample choice is weird, but it is your sample choice. That's up to you in the end of the day. The drums are fine. The patterns are a little generic, but I kind of like some of the sound selection you did with your drums. We got Nightmare on Tuesday, Trust in God. I just want to draw your attention to like one thing, because there's a lot of good things going on here, but there's this one little bit where so many things are happening at the same time that it just kind of gets muddy in your mix. You'll hear it once, like I don't know, a bunch of things just hit at the same time. You'll hear it. And you can make room for that like with just EQ or like even just automating some kind of stuff. You got options. You have some cool sounds though. I really like some of your sound selection, like that weird, like it's almost like a vox, but not at all. That's like in the back there is really cool. I think you did some good stuff. Overall, the beat is pretty good. You could just clean up the mix a little bit. There's a beat switch at 1:30. I don't really feel like this bass works in your favor. I think the beat switch kind of works, kind of doesn't. Like the rhythm is cool that you go to. It doesn't match your melody the greatest, but it still kind of works. You can maybe play around with chopping stuff up to make it work a little bit better with your melody. I felt like you had a good bounce going on. The mix was okay. It just felt like the room for the bass wasn't always there. And I didn't love the bass sound. Nice, we jumped right to where we were. We got... I don't know. Friend zone. I think you could definitely turn your clap up a bit. Your clap's a little quiet. Similar with your drums. Pretty much your drums in general are just really drowned out by your melody. The roll you're doing there is a little kind of over the top. It's not necessary, you know what I mean? Like the melody's fine, the melody's good. It's just the drums don't have the space to do what they want to do, and the roll is too much. You don't need that roll. We got Sculf. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not loving the piano. I feel like some of the chords are kind of gross, and I feel like some of those high notes just sound too high, like they're a little too sharp. Maybe you could have turned down the volume, make them a little bit more in the background, or just EQ a little bit, but that's what I'm thinking. The drums are pretty quiet, but I don't necessarily feel like they fit all the time. You know, I don't know. Did you use like a drum sampler, or did you program the drums yourself? Yeah, that's one of the issues when you use drum samples like that. Just because like it's a rhythm, but it's not always the rhythm you want. I feel like with some mixing, like this could be cleaned up. Maybe to use your own drums, because it feels like these drums are really fast for the piano you do have. And you could probably pitch everything with the piano down an octave, and I think it would sound a bit better. You could also probably like play around with the timing of some of your notes just to give it a bit more of a human feel, but there is something there with the piano, I think. If I can skip to the drop at 1:20, I will do that. I heard some of those little glitches you were talking about. They're pretty subtle. I think your drums are good. The mix is fine. Doozy hit the nail on the head. That guitar lead is really nice. It's mixed well in there too. I think you did a pretty good job. You left a lot of space. This could definitely be used by an artist. But also, I think, you know what? You already submitted and we have rules. I can't just break the rules all willy-nilly and stuff. Also, is this AI? Because it's got like an AI vibe to it, but it could very easily not be AI.
True.
Alright, I've listened to a lot. I think the second half, like the beat switch part, the melody is significantly better. Your 808 in the first bit is just kind of terrible for this beat. The slides are just, I don't know, don't do them. There's a rule about slides, and it's don't do those slides. You broke the only rule that you should have followed. The second bit's good. The 808 just kind of has a little bit of rumble as well, but that's not too big of an issue. That's pretty easy to fix. You know what? Easy way to fix that. The rumble is like below 20 hertz kind of thing. You got to be careful with this though, because this can kind of cause issues, like phasing issues. You just want to cut like down at 20 hertz. But yeah, this just feels like I shouldn't say that word. like the melody you have. It's kind of cool. I feel like the hi-hat doesn't really fit. Honestly, the trap drum idea, I just don't feel like it fits in this kind of way. You could chop it up, speed it up, maybe give it more personality that fits like a trap drum vibe. But I feel like you have two good things that you could probably work them together to be one good thing. We've got a Juice WRLD type beat. Everything got stupidly quiet the second your 808 came in. I don't know if you just like sidechained the 808 to everything and then you just like it's terrible sidechain, or if like you just threw a limiter on top of everything and it just, I don't know, you dropped the ceiling to really low. It's just, I don't know, mix wise not it. Guitar melody is good, the drum patterns are okay. There's some like weird 808 notes at times, but you kind of almost accomplished what you were going for with the vibe. I feel like TT, we need to have a talk. There's no way new people can be involved in this. That is a very valid point. Now, there is actually a way they can be involved by paying money, but that's all good and fine. If they showed up on time, like if they were in advance, etc., this isn't really for new people because there's a large queue of people who have been here for a while that want feedback. That's kind of the thing, you know what I mean? This is for the community, not to grow the community, you know what I mean? This isn't how I intend to grow the Discord community or anything along the lines. If you like what we're doing, you can come back next time that we do it and just be on time. We got Oscar up next.
Hey, Oscar got some.
I think it's good. The mix could be a little bit better though. I feel like the 808 and mind you, it's just like volumes on stuff. Your 808 could be a little bit louder. Your accent snare felt a little too loud. So if you just kind of fix some of those things, I think overall it would sound better, but it sounds pretty good as is. Cool, you sent this beat in before, but you made some changes. Let's give it a listen. I feel like there's some good stuff. I feel like there's some more questionable things. Like, the melody is good. It just feels like the rhythms around it don't really add anything to it. They just kind of feel like they're just on top of it. You know what I mean? So I feel like you can kind of flesh out those ideas, kind of build the rhythm, the bounce around the bounce that's already existing with your melodic components, and you're good. Yeah, we got this beat now. Somebody asked, can we skip a few? I have a genuine question, you know, for the people that are here, right? Do you feel like if we skipped people, that would be fair to the people we skipped? Bro said get a job in a producer community, bro. That's crazy. This beat's okay. It's just like, I don't see the vision. I'm not really sure what you're doing with it, to be honest with you. Like, you have this melody, it's an okay melody. It just doesn't, it feels a little amateurish almost. That's maybe just my take. And then you have drums on top of it. It doesn't really feel cohesive, and that kind of comes down to like the rhythms, what's working together. And to mitigate that, to work around that, you can kind of just think a little bit more of like, okay, what am I doing? You know, work a little more with an objective, with a goal. What? All right, we got Desevinta Vive. I don't know. I don't like hate it. It just kind of feels like you have sounds that are not the right ones for this. I don't even know. Like, it's just the sounds you use for the melody aren't good. That's the first thing we need to get out of the way. The drums you used are okay. They don't really fit the vibe you have, and the vibe you have is questionable because like it's just the sounds you use for the melody are terrible. But like you could work on that. You know, take that, get a decent VST. Turn those into sounds that sound a little bit better than that, and maybe you'll have something a little clean you would be proud to show off to your mom or dad or whatever. I don't know. There's some stuff here that's not bad, but there's some stuff here that is. This feels like reoccurring feedback today. The sound selection at times is weird, questionable. The accent snare, it's more like a rim, to be honest with you. I hate it though. I really hate that sound that you use for that accent. The bass cutting out at times felt good, but at other times it didn't really kind of work the way I think you would have wanted it to. I was vibing with it a little bit too, but that lead is a little goofy. The lead sound is maybe the biggest criminal here. And you might have spammed it a bit too much. There's a thing you shouldn't do, and it's spam a lead like that. To you, I'm blue. problem here is your drums are too quiet compared to everything else. I also feel like you could have played around with some chops because your melody is not doing all that much. And some chops just to give like something different every now and then would have made it a little bit more interesting too. I've heard what I needed to hear. I've given the feedback I'm obligated to give. Whoa. My throat is in pain. We got August, but we're in February. Yeah, it definitely has the vibe. I don't really like the drums. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I don't really like the drums, and it's not even just the sounds. I just don't love the patterns. I don't like kind of what it's doing necessarily. Like some of the sounds too also kind of just feel like they're just sitting on top of the beat. Doesn't really feel like cohesive in that manner. But you have a really good melody kind of vibe going here. It's vibey, it's cool. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, you might be waiting a while. You might not even get reviewed, to be honest with you. At this point in time, like I'm gonna be really honest with everyone who's here. If you have submitted at like 2 hours after the submission thing closes, your chances are pretty low. Bro, this time you're really back.
Hey, Dilly, turn that up, bro.
I hope that's not your tag. Hey, Billy, turn that up, bro.
Hey, Dilly, turn that up, bro.
I think you did do what you said. You came back. This is a pretty good glow beat. I wouldn't say the best glow beat of all time. I feel like your brass could be louder. It could feel a little cooler, you know what I mean, as opposed to the cornier glow vibe, but it's not too far in that realm. So I think it's pretty good. Also, I'm glad to hear that you have a new tag because it did sound like it said Billy, but don't kill me. We got Lackey. It's good. You did something that not a lot of people, well, you did something that some people struggle with, which is getting that really tasteful distortion sound. You did it. It came through pretty crisp and nice. So I think that's pretty good. The patterns are good. The melody's fine. You made a Ken Carson beat for sure. Nice. It's been a while since we've heard an Egg beat, so this will be kind of nice.
Direct from her Las Vegas nightclub act, the electrifying Anne Margaret. With Bob Hope and George Burns, tonight at 10, 9 Central Time, right after Egg.
This is Egg Television, Channel 2 in Buffalo, New York.
I hope they like it.
You kidding? Not that congregation I refuse.
Color TV. Too expensive to buy, too expensive to borrow for, and too expensive to service. So how do you beat the high cost of color? You rent.
I think it's really good. I do think, though, there are some things in this beat that are a little too resonant, a little too loud. So it kind of hurts me, but I am listening at a pretty loud volume to be fully fair. But it is definitely good. And Egg, oh no, that wasn't even Egg, that was a waffle. Yeah, that Egg beat, whoa, what the fuck am I saying? That beat Egg submitted for the Christmas beat battle, that was like 2023. That was fire. Egg is always on some clean stuff, though. What? Honest question, is this what the kids are listening to these days? If this is what they're listening to, we need to pray for the children. If we ignore the part that it just sounds kind of like ADHD in the form of music, it's good. Like, honestly, there's nothing too bad. You did some pretty good stuff with the 808. I like the melody, the vocal chop that you have is kind of cool. I don't love this style of music, but that's me. Whoa.
Booty on the track.
You have some things that are dissonant with each other in a really painful way. And it doesn't really work in your melody. Like, it's just too dissonant. You need to resolve it. Is that your hi-hat? is that your hi-hat? I need to know. Is that your hi-hat, bro? What is that? What is that sound? What is the mouse squeaking hi-hat sound you use? Where'd you get that? I have so many questions about just the hi-hat. I don't have any other questions about your beat. I don't even know if I can get feedback because this hi-hat is just so questionable. This is something like I've never seen or heard someone do ever before, and I've been reviewing beats since before my YouTube channel gained any traction. We're talking way back, and what the man. Don't do that with your hi-hats. Also, the dissonance in your beat, like some of the melody things, they're either out of key or they're just like really dissonant with each other, and it doesn't work that well. Some of the sounds too kind of sound a little detuned, a little too much. I just need to hear the hi-hats again. That's crazy. Sorry, bass volume is a little loud. Don't apologize. Do better. Honestly, I don't even know why you're apologizing. Take that back. Your bass volume is not even that loud. It's not a problem. It's very relaxing, very vibey. The only issue I noticed is at some points in time, the reverb or the tail of your pad, synth, whatever, it kind of carries over into the next chord, and it makes it a little messy. You can control that. Listen, let's go to like Serum. Right? If you have like a access to your ADSR, it stands for attack, decay, sustain, release, right? You may have something like this where your release is like stupidly long. Turn it down. Problem solved. If you have reverb, you know what? Turn the reverb down. We talked about reverb earlier. Just turn down the decay time. You don't need like a 70-second decay. Keep it tight if you want. Your new producer from South Dakota. I don't know my American geography, but I know that is a place I don't want to visit. Native American trap. Interesting. You know what? I'm always down to listen to a new genre I've never heard of before. Stop. No. 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 Let's try this again. Alright, you're timed out. We need to like punish you for this. Has nothing to do with whatever. It just feels like this was a terrible beat to send. Don't send dog shit beats. You know what? Here you go. You get an hour. I thought about it. That was crazy. That was just pain. That was pain incarnate. Same. I was fully like ready to be like, you know what? This is cool. I'm down to listen to. Why'd he send it in twice? That's crazy.
और खुले 2 मिनट में सस्पेंड करा दूंगा तेरा फूफा पहले आता है सस्पेंडेड आंडा है बॉडी गैंड
Your sample, I'm assuming it's a sample because it like has that weird sample thing. We were just talking about tails earlier, right? So when you have a sample, the tail like you don't have a tail after that sample kind of cuts, and then when it restarts and it doesn't have that tail starting back up kind of thing, it sounds very distinct, and it kind of sounds like you have that going on, and you can kind of fix that with some reverb. Other than that, your beat's pretty solid. Like I think you could have made it hit a little bit harder. Like your punch on your kick could have been a little bit more. You could just fix that with some saturation. Pretty solid beat. We got Jay. Oh no, we don't. We gotta appease the class of those who pay. We got Jombe. Atlas 160 BPM. By the way, Jombe, you weren't here earlier, but we did go through your YouTube channel very quickly, and we kind of gave some constructive criticism on your type beat channel. So you might want to rewatch the VOD or whatever just to get that info. It's pretty early in the stream though, don't worry. Like what you do with the perk sounds you have here. I don't know if it's just me, but it kind of sounds like you did like this little weird panning thing with your hi-hat. I'm not a big fan of it, but I think a lot of the other things you have here are good. I like how you kind of have the stomp come in at only some hits, because if you spammed it, it would have sucked, but it's good. It's a good beat. We listen to Jay now. Honestly, I feel like you do some interesting things with your drums. I feel like your melody's a little busy. There's just a constant flow of notes going on, and I feel like if you kind of just tone that down, there'd be a lot more room in it. It would kind of fit a little bit better. So I think that's my takeaway. Someone said they don't like the guitar. That's fair. It sounds like one of those what's that thing? Flex, right? It sounds like a Flex guitar. One of these or something like that. My MIDI isn't even working. Not even that. It sounds like one of the metal ones in here, you know what I mean? We got a Yushman. Yeah, I think you did a pretty good job with this. The guitars, they're not really fighting with each other, which is sometimes like hard for people. I don't know why I said that so weird, but I think the drums were pretty good. They sounded pretty natural. I think the whole thing could have been turned up though. I think like you could have given everything more volume. Beats by Double Dart. Sir Doozy, please inform us what would be your guitar mixing trick. feels very new jazzy, and I like it. Yeah. It doesn't feel too new jazzy though. That's my thing. Like, it doesn't have those like kind of wobbly sounds too much, but it has enough of them to give it the new jazz kind of vibe. It's cool. I think you did a pretty good job. There were some times where I felt like there was a little too many 808 notes going on, but I feel like overall it's pretty good beat. Nabil Prod X Next. This is some like hit club music type shit.
Who's next?
Next.
This is one of those rare times where I'm gonna tell you your 808's probably too loud, to be honest. Like, it's clipping, but too much almost. Like, it's messing up what the other things are doing at times. Yeah, I think it's good. I feel like, honestly, you could have switched into like a shorter 808 at one point, and that could have been like a cool bounce to play around with, but I think it's pretty good. Jombe, let's give it a listen. Hurt Me 112 beats per minute, D minor prod, Jombe and Christian something. Waffle Derpy Boy, that's gonna be your nickname from now on, by the way. It's probably your AirPods, because this 808, it's pretty deep. It's got some depth to it. It's a great beat, honestly. I feel like Liam P here has perfectly summarized the vibe of it. It's like a sensual lounge vibe. You know what I mean? Like, if I go to a cigar lounge and that's playing, I'm gonna chill there for like 3 hours minimum. You have so much resonance here. It hurts. Turn that down. Fix your resonance. I understand the idea. I don't like it. I think your execution of it kind of falls flat too. Because you took the sample, this really common, well-known sample thanks to social media, and you added a ton of resonance to it, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't sound good. Also, that chop was kind of weird. Ooh, that's a good question, Doozy. Honestly, where I live, there's a ton of dessert restaurants nearby. A new one actually opened up near me. And what I love about this is they all kind of specialize in different things. Ignore those weird hand motions I just did. They all specialize in different things. So like, there's like one that does like Middle Eastern desserts more so. So they have like a lot of like kanafe, pistachio kind of stuff. And then there's one that does like Japanese desserts, and they're ooh, both are fire. Both are fire. We got Marta Beataz. I've just been transported to a club in Europe. Eastern Europe, to be a little bit more specific now. Just a cool idea, but I feel like you could have played around with some automation on your pluck there. You know, just like bring down the decay, bring down the release. Like you can kind of build up some tension just by automating that. I play this game called Team Fight Tactics, and I get these really corny TikTok videos on my For You page sometimes, where it's like they just kind of take some character, get them to like the highest level, and then they just like play some kind of music like this. This is what this is making me think about. It's not bad, but it is a little dated for sure, and a little on the generic side. But I do think you could have played around with automation to make it a little bit more dynamic as well. We got Mace.
This was made by Versa.
Facts. TFT goes hard. I only play double up though. I play with my girlfriend. Bro, I am terrible at TFT. I'm highest I've ever been is like gold 3. This kind of feels like you're just trying to make everything as busy as possible for the sake of making everything busy as possible. So there's no room really. It's confused because there's just so much rhythm too. Yeah, TFT gets pretty sweaty in general, I feel. The high end does kind of hurt. What's my opinion? Whoa, yo, I can't speak today. What's my opinion on Q Sampler plugin on Logic Pro? I have no clue. I've never heard of it. I've never used it. I don't have Logic Pro. So I can't give you any opinion because I have none. The bounce too is a little weird. I feel like it's really unexpected at times. It works a little bit, but not too great, I feel. Oh, bro, on YouTube, I've been watching a ton of like the Any Austin videos. Those are always enjoyable, I feel. Marvel Rivals, I never got into though. I didn't try. It's just not my type of game. I don't usually like those kinds of games. I've put my multiplayer days long behind me. MLEX, run it up.
MLEX.
Yeah, I feel like I agree with you, Doozy. I feel like a different 808 would have made this a bit better. I think it's a really solid beat, though, overall. Like, I do like the vibe. I think the melody, too, could have been a little bit louder, because at times it feels a little hard to hear, but I think it's pretty solid. Most definitely. What was the question? Someone asked a question. I can't read right now, because I'm pressing buttons. How long am I reviewing for? That's a good question. Not too sure. We're gonna get through the ones that are guaranteed to be reviewed, and then we'll see how I'm feeling. I don't know if you know this, but this chair for some reason like just destroys my ass cheeks. I don't know why. It's a pretty cheap chair. That's probably why. We got Dreams from Rafa. Have I heard of Lex Luger, bro? He's like a legend. Lex Luger is goated. Like he is, in terms of the history of trap, Lex Luger is essential. That's a crazy question. You had me in the first half, but you completely lost me. Like, I love the digicore vibe you're doing here. I just don't like the lead. I also feel like the sound like doesn't necessarily fit. Like, not the lead sound, the pluck sound. You could probably have gone a bit more with a digicore vibe, a little bit more, but I think the lead is what my biggest problem is. I don't like the pattern. I don't love the sound. When you go from that low note to the high note, the glide sounds a little weird too. Yeah, Lex had his run. That's the thing. Like, a lot of producers, it feels in the mainstream, very like you have your short run, and then once your run's done, history will probably remember you, but that's kind of it. You know what I mean? You can keep making music, but your run's done. You're not number one anymore. There's been no LeBron James of producers where some dude has just come in and been like, trap producers, mind you, where some dude has come in and been like, yeah, I'm gonna run this shit for the next 20 years. I'm good, thank you for asking. Yeah, I think maybe that lead you could have worked on a little bit more. Probably EQ the highs a bit nicer. Metro has evolved, but he's not been like the center stage #1 producer year in and year out. You know what I mean? Like, when he is dropping, he gains a lot of attention. But like, if you think about it, what was it, like last year or the year before? It was like Benny X was like kind of top of the charts in terms of producers. My hot take is Metro's run was like the future, like him, future Drake, those kinds of days. That was Metro's run, in my opinion, where every time there was a Metro beat, it was like top of the charts. That was like what, 2016, 2017? No, it wasn't 2017. Was it? I don't even remember. It feels like this is a little bit muddy, but other than that, it's pretty good, Astromort. You never cease to do well. It's pretty clean. A beat that makes you wonder. What does it make you wonder? 2 seconds in, this sound has so much high end, it's a little too sharp, it's a little painful. So I'm gonna start off and say this isn't K-pop. Then I'm gonna say that this high-pitched sound you have isn't good. It's too high-pitched. I don't know. It probably would sound better if you pitch it down an octave, but like maybe just use a different sound altogether. The drums kind of just feel like you threw like the most generic kick trap pattern you could have, and it doesn't feel like you have a low end going on too much. So overall, like this, I'm assuming you're trying to make K-pop. I'm just assuming, and that has a lot more of like a pop structure, kind of with like trap elements, but more of like the EDM trap kind of stuff. So like you would probably want to use like more chords, leave some space for vocals, go for like some pop chords, like some pretty common progressions, like Pachelbel's Canon in D or whatever it's called. So not this at all. We got MLEX, run it up.
MLEX, you that prodigy.
MLEX, we've talked about your tags before. I don't know how I feel about this one, but I don't feel like this is the one. There's the horny girl tag era has died.
MLEX, you that prodigy.
Don't get me wrong, I feel like it's good. I do feel though like it's missing some low end. You could either bring in just like an acoustic bass or like a synth bass. It's up to you. Just kind of fill up those frequencies though. I think that would have been really nice. It is pretty vibes. It is definitely pretty vibes. We gotta remove this. You're right. I do realize now. This makes a lot of sense. That beat did make me wonder. Gulan. You know what, MLEX, I know I give you shit for your tag, but at least your tag is not this. What is this, bro? Nah, bro, that tag was saying his name. You're doing a lot of cool stuff with your 808s, but like you're forgetting that 808s sometimes should have low end, and it just like your beat has no low end right now. And the weird thing you're doing with the 808, you just keep repeating, so it's like it's not weird, it's just over repeated. Yeah, you gotta throw in some low end. Like fill up the frequencies. It'll sound a lot more full. Kisaki.
Present day.
I hope that's not your tag.
Present time.
Yeah, I don't think this 808 kind of works here. slide was kind of weird. I didn't really like it. I feel like you're throwing in too many drum sounds at sometimes. Like it's just over the top with the 808. It's playing the same thing. It's a little repetitive. Your drum sounds are kind of the dilemma I'm having with this beat. Kick does give it a better punch, but like I didn't really like the 808 sound in general. Follow Us. That's a spooky title. I'm so like you had something, but you lost it really quick. The lead is just like too high pitched. Yeah, it's messy. You have a lot going on at the same time. You should probably scale back, like keep things a little more tame. Like that's the one thing with music. A lot of people kind of underestimate the power of space, my guy. The power of space and time. Use it in your music. That's not even exaggeration. This is completely unrelated, but like you know how it's like I live in Canada and Canada's cold. I went outside few times this week because I do go outside my apartment. My beard froze. I had ice in my beard. My beard froze solid. It's not bad. It's just nothing about it really excites me. You know, your arrangement is just pretty plain. Like here's the beat, enjoy it, and I do enjoy it a little bit. But at the same time too, I want you to guide me on some arranged journey of okay, this part's a little more chill. Okay, now we're getting hyped. You know what I mean? And I feel like you had that potential, but you didn't really go in that direction. Yeah, oh my god. Yo, I was watching a documentary. It wasn't even a documentary. I call YouTube videos documentaries when they're like, you know those like YouTube videos that are kind of like documentaries but not quite? I was watching one of those about like the coldest village in Siberia where it's like negative 50 degrees sometimes. They go to school until it's like negative 55 or something like that. Bro, it's so cold there. They have no pipes. They have no indoor plumbing because the pipes freeze and break. So the only way they can go to the bathroom is in outhouses. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, holy shit, bro. Imagine it's like 1 a.m. you wake up, you need to go to the bathroom in negative 50 degree weather. That's a nightmare for me. Once it hits negative double digits for me, I'm tapped out. It's too cold. I think you have some ideas here. Just it's not really a finished idea. You're missing a lot of like frequencies. You could add a lot more sounds in. A lot of it is kind of quiet, but I do like the idea you have going on with the rhythms. Like the snap's kind of cool. It's interesting. Did I check out the orchestral shit? Yeah, I did. I'm pretty certain I did. That was like a while ago, wasn't it? Either way, we probably did. Also, the other thing too about that Siberian village, this blew my mind too. Like I said, they have no like pipes freeze, they break, so they can't really do pipes that much. So the way they get water is they just get ice blocks and melt them. That's how they have water, which is crazy, but not as unbearable in my opinion as an outhouse in negative 50-degree weather.
Come on, let's get faded.
With the bass notes, I know we talked about the bass notes. Like I don't think you can get a prize right now because we're in the process of switching things over because the store is no longer hosted with whatever we were hosting it with before. I don't remember what, but now it's on Shopify. So like we got to set that up. But we can discuss. We can work something out. We'll get some meaningful prizes for the bass notes. So if you gamble and you get a lot of bass notes, you might be able to get something. This is a great example of like things being too loud. Your melody is just taking up so much space. The drums feel drowned out, and everything feels a little too busy. You know, I know I pinned this message because this is a great point. Someone said their band director always told them how important rests are. Silence is the loudest thing in music. You're also getting a little carried away on some of the stuff. You can calm down. Like, you don't need to throw in so many 808 rolls. You don't need to do all this. Keep it a little more dialed back. There's a beautiful line that you kind of need to balance between interesting and simple, and you're kind of going overboard here. Yeah, you can gamble all your points. If that's what you're trying to do, you can gamble them. If you win, you know what, maybe when the time comes, probably around next beat review stream, so next month, I'll have it set up in a way where you can actually get like a prize, or you can get like something you may or may not want. I think this is pretty good. You have some good stuff. The patterns are nice. Whoa. The patterns are nice, but my dilemma, I'm not a big fan of the sound selection. Like the 808, I probably wouldn't have used that 808. You switch up, like you drop the melody down to just like one pattern at one point, and I really didn't like the sound you used for that. So it kind of this is just sound selection in my opinion. I'm in like an eternal state of being sick. If I go outside and it's cold, like my throat is all messed up and I get the coughs and it's just pain. My beat, please do not steal. I always wondered, like, honestly, copyright protection is on your side. Tip, skip to my beat. That's a terrible tip. Copyright protection is on your side if you made the beat. You just need to know how it works. Like, for example, well, I've had a lot of people claim my beats and try and say like it's their beat for whatever reason. If you have evidence or proof that you created the beat first or when you've created it, you're safe. Okay, you can fight every single person. You don't need some legal documentation. It shouldn't be hard. Allergic to cold weather, yes, maybe, but also allergic to my cat, which is why I took allergy meds earlier. Sort of. Like if you have the file, like if you have the project file, and you can prove, like, that can be tweaked, to be honest with you, so it's not the greatest proof, but if you have the project file and stuff like that, that's typically a good thing. DJV, I'm terribly sorry, we're not doing the competition, so if you got pinned, it's not necessarily like for a competition. We're not doing that. This is just pure review today. We're gonna do a beat battle later, not today, but like later in the month. This beat is good. My beef with it is it's kind of quiet. You could probably turn it up. It's a good beat though. The bounce is there. It gets a little repetitive, but like you could add some things in to mix it up. I think you did a great job with the chops. We are clubbing to this one. This is not what they play in clubs. I'll give you an example though, Waffle Derpy Boy. If I upload a type beat, this has happened to me as well. If I upload a type beat and someone just takes it and they upload it themselves and then try and copyright my type beat that I uploaded, I have uploaded proof that I created it first because I uploaded it first. You know what I mean? That's my proof in that regard. And in my case, that has been more than enough. I don't think the drums work. Like I think the patterns are fine. Oh, let me rephrase. I don't think the melody works for the drums. The patterns are fine. It's just the melody. It doesn't fit, I feel. You do use good perks here. Like you have some interesting perk stuff going on here. Same with when you dropped. I think that's probably the strongest part with this beat. We got a 41 Jersey Club type beat. Sorry, but your sound selection is not good. Like you're using like just straight saw wave type shit, square wave type shit. We're in 2025. I almost said 2024, but we're in 2025. I feel like a little bit more can happen in your software synthesis program to make it a little better sounding. No, you can use a saw. Listen, I'm not saying don't use a saw, but what I'm saying, right? Let's just pull up a saw wave and we'll talk this through. Right? You can use a saw. Let me throw my MIDI. Let me fix that real quick so I can show you what I'm talking about without having to open up the stupid goddamn piano roll. Right? You can have a saw, but this kind of sounds okay. It doesn't sound good. But like, if I even just throw a filter on it, I don't need to do anything crazy. Let's say I throw an envelope, I automate the filter. I'm not doing anything crazy. My sound is so much more interesting. It's not as harsh, not as painful. It's cooler. You know, you can get kind of creative. You can do this. You can, you know, like you can mix it up. Maybe we turn this into a bass. Like, you know, like you don't have to just leave it as is. That's what I'm saying. It does, like, you do have some cool stuff. I like the kick you're using. I feel like though everything's so loud, it just feels like it's all fighting for space. also feels like it's supposed to pick up energy at some point, but it really doesn't. We got cyst. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this happened long ago in history. Doctors used to name diseases after themselves, right? Like Parkinson's, you know, that's an example you've probably heard of. People have named diseases after themselves, and then they realized, damn, it's not a good idea to name a disease after myself, because everyone's gonna think of diseases, and then, you know, that's not good. You've done the opposite. A cyst isn't necessarily a disease, but like, you know, it's a questionable naming practice.
Sweet. We like you, sis.
I like this Maybach music.
I think it's okay. I think you've got some good stuff. There's some hard-hitting things here. I feel like the chops I didn't really agree with the most. I feel like they kind of came at weird times. The bass is okay. Like the 808's fine. You could have used a different sample, but overall, like, it's a pretty good beat. It just gets a little repetitive, and I understand you tried to do some things to mix that up. It just didn't work out the best way, I think. Trippy Red, new sound type beat. Fire, new genre. Interesting. Like most people, I haven't listened to Trippy Red in quite a while. Is this what he's doing now? It's like kind of devoid of a melody and also ridiculously repetitive. There's like a fine line between this style of music and just sound, to be quite honest with you. And that's not necessarily like a knock at the music. It's more so to say like it's a hard thing to accomplish what you're trying to go for, to get these like super distorted beats, but to the point where they sound really nice, and the distortion makes it kind of sound more complex. Because in this case, it doesn't. It sounds like a wet toilet bowl flushing in a really deep, distorted way. That's my takeaway. Your low end kind of feels a little busy. It's either your low end is busy or you've just taken like a CTM and you've gone a little too low. In case you don't know, if you're ever using a CTM, there's like a fine line where it's like you don't want to go too low. Like if I take this down to the G, it's probably not going to sound good. Right? But if I bring that up to the G5, you know, it sounds good. So you gotta maybe pitch up your whole beat to get that out of the way from being a problem. Yeah, it does sound a little layered. I'm not sure why. You have some weird sound selection too in your melody that I don't get along with. I think that piano came in at a great time. Like, it's a good example. It just feels out of place. It doesn't kind of mesh well with everything else you have going on. We got VG, free West Coast new jazz type beat. That's an interesting combination.
I don't care how you react, doing my thing as a fact. DMs are looking on stage, yeah. I don't care how you react, I know I won't get sidetracked. DMs are looking on stage, yeah. VG.
All right, we get it. You did a good job on the West Coast side. Where is the new jazz that you speak of? Yeah, I can see that. The lead is like the only kind of new jazzy-ish kind of thing. I don't personally feel like I would put this in the new jazz category in any way, but the West Coast category, you nailed it. I think you did a good job. The 808 punch was beautiful. Everything was good. The vocal in there was nice. The melody was good. You did great. Awesome stuff. Trap beat. Good job, everybody. Pat yourself on the back. We found a good beat. Your piano is a little too loud. Everything is a little too loud, and it's going to become very apparent to everyone else who may not have caught on to this, but I think you don't have any control on your peaks. You have no control on your levels. This is going to be a painful experience. Buckle up.
Almighty push.
You know what? You did something I didn't expect, and that was have some kind of control over your peaks. It's just your snare is ungodly loud. Your piano is stupidly loud. You know what? Power to you. I think the melody's a bit loud. Like, you could just kind of mix things a bit better, have them have some space and room for each other a bit more, but I think overall there is a good idea here. I was a hater at first. You converted me. Decent job. This is the fake MLX. Ooh, I stuttered on MLX's name. This is the fake MLX. MX. You have a lot of pretty things, but at this point in time, it gets a little too busy. Like, you have this guitar coming in, you have this like arpeggiation going on. It's too busy, everything together. So I would think you should probably kind of kill something off, or even just change it so it doesn't take up as much space. Your melody's also like really loud, so the drums kind of get drowned out a bit, and you're missing some kind of low end to it, but you have this really pretty thing going on here for the first bit that I think you could build out into something a little more competent, a little more complete. But overall, you have some good stuff, some bad stuff. Clean it up, you have something great. Gosh, you're up next. I think your 808's just too much. Like, it's oversaturated. It's too loud. You gotta turn that down. Other than the 808, it's pretty good. It's just your 808 mix kind of detracts so much from everything else you have going on. So like you could just fix the 808, and then that would probably give a little bit more room to the other drums so that they kind of shine through as well. But overall, it's pretty decent, pretty solid. No more mistake. This is a mistake so far, so let's hope you fix it. The dissonance didn't really work in your chords. It works here a little bit better because there's not much going on, and the drums are a little too much. They're clipping, they're saturated, but a little too much. And then once the piano comes back in, the rhythms are clashing between your melody things, you know. So it's not working rhythmically either at that point. We got Nova. This is probably gonna be the last one we listen to. We've been doing this for 3 hours. I'm kind of glad that we got to go through a lot more beats than we usually do, and kind of actually give like more meaningful feedback, not have this time constraint really, and not be focused on trying to get to the beat battle part of things. Also getting to listen to your beats for longer. Not all of your beats, because some of your beats I turned off after 2 seconds. You had me, you lost me. The drums are just not very good. They feel a little hollow. Nah, don't worry. We're gonna have a stream in the future, in probably 2 weeks. We'll do a beat battle. We'll do like a legitimate beat battle. Problem with this beat though is the drums. The drums are not it. They're super quiet. They feel lackluster at times. They're missing what makes the trap drums, which is that nice oomph, that punch to them, that volume. You know what? We'll do Heavy Sly as well, just because Heavy Sly, I saw that you were here earlier. I don't know if you're still around, but you know what? I feel like we have time. I'll give your beat a listen. Honestly, I think this is pretty good. I do feel like your mids are a tiny bit muddy, but that's not the biggest problem. You could clean that up with some EQ pretty easily. Just find whatever you don't really need too much mids from and just kind of get those mids out of there. You know what I mean? Pretty easy stuff. Chris Beats, I know you are here. Yours is right here. Cyst has already been reviewed. No More Mistake has been reviewed. With the one submission rule, you know, that kind of puts you next in line. So just because you said that, I'm gonna play yours, and because you're next in line. This will be the last one though, so like no more after this. This is the final one. I have to go to Audio Mac, bro. What is Audio Mac? What are we? It's crazy. I've never even looked at this in my life. All right, let's give it a listen. I think there's some good things. I do feel like it gets a little too repetitive. Like you have this very repetitious kind of melody pattern going on. The drums even at times get a little too repeated. So I feel like some variation could really help. I also feel like none of these tags really apply too much. Like drum and bass, I'm not seeing it. Party, I don't know what parties you go to. I'm not inspired in any way, shape, or form. But you have something good here. Like all tags aside, you have something decent to start with, and I feel like you could build on this as like a foundation for more. Stream 5 hours? No. Those days are behind me. My social battery dies faster than that. Anyways, though, that's where we're gonna wrap up stream. I thank you all for showing up, submitting your beats. Like I say every time, it's not the easiest thing to subject yourself to criticism in front of people. So it takes balls to do that. If you've submitted, congrats to you. It's my pleasure. Honestly, the feedback is what I'm here to do. So no worries about that. But anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, great rest of your Saturday.